The Energy Cultures project is based around looking at energy in a holistic way, covering people's material culture, their practices and their norms. The idea is that the framework is self-reinforcing, so each aspect can affect another aspect. If someone were to change their aspirations or their attitudes or their beliefs, that'll have a knock-on effect into the type of appliances that they buy or the way that they behave around energy.
I want to live a lifestyle where I'm being a positive force in the world.
Well, as a family, we try to minimize the energy use.
I think that people should have more control over their power and their electricity generation.
The choices that I make, in fact, a lot of the choices that I make are environmentally driven.
I'm not a high user of electricity at home. I try and live the way that I research.
I can still remember when I was just a little kid reading a science fiction book or a picture book, and it had two sort of options of the future. One with this horrible, smoky, polluted world, another one which was all clean and green and lovely. That still sticks with me even now.
Most days I'm able to walk to work and I drop the children off along the way. We purposely bought a smaller vehicle about 5 years ago because we didn't, my husband was commuting out to Mosgiel every day, so we didn't want to be driving an expensive gas guzzling car out there. EVs are the way that we have to go. It's inevitable, so let's start thinking really hard now about how we can make it more practical for people and just allow it to happen.
The biggest step we've done so far, we've purchased an electric car. It's actually a lot cheaper to run. It's only 1/5 the cost, so we save almost $200 a month. To me, that's a bonus because the reason we're doing it is because of the carbon neutrality.
I'm looking forward to a situation where if I've got a solar panel on the roof that's powering my car when it's at night, I can see a future 20 years down the line, or even sooner maybe, to be off the grid, particularly as new technology comes along.
Solar power is absolutely in my future. Probably by the end of 2017 we will be off grid.
I think there's an issue with power companies being in control of the network and the grid at the moment, so I think the people need to take a bit of control back.
When it comes to changing the model of people feeding back their electricity into the grid, I'm not sure if that will happen unless there is a huge shift in the norms and aspirations of people who really want that to happen, so they push for it to happen.
I think as a society we do have an obligation to the future. That's both on an individual sort of level and as a community. We all should really be looking at what kind of platform that we leave for those that follow afterwards.
The future is really rosy. I think New Zealand's in a really strong position to make some big changes in the way that we consume energy and produce energy. And I think my kids will have a much more control over their own futures in terms of energy generation.
It comes down to every individual. Every individual has to make a change.
Well, energy culture is a way of understanding behaviour, taking into account a whole lot of different theories about behaviour and trying to bring them together in one simple model that helps ourselves, helps individuals in their households, and also helps policymakers really understand what locks people into patterns of energy behaviour, and also what it might take to change those patterns into something that might be more sustainable.
So when a person's energy culture shifts, it can shift the culture of their whole household, or through social networks, it can shift through word of mouth, it can shift the behaviour or the norms in communities as well. I think that there's always a reason for optimism when it comes to energy and people's norms around energy. I think that generally people want to do the right thing and the best thing.